Well, hello guys. Today I'll be beginning a playthrough of a different game. This is gonna be pretty, I guess, a cult classic. But for me, I was able to play it much earlier, although not in English at all. So anyway, this is Princess Maker 2. And since I just noticed that in YouTube there is actually no direct tutorial playthrough of this game, I'll try to play a typical playthrough for this game while also try to explain to you how the game works and some minor suggestions on how to, I guess, play this game. So, okay, let's begin. Okay, let's give her a name. Okay, now, in my opinion, here's kind of a trick. I would actually suggest that you give your daughter's birthday in November. Why? Well, because I'll explain later, okay? It's just more convenient. Enter your age. Okay. I'm old, man. I'm old. Okay, this is the intro, and there's no need for explanation. I'll let the game talk for itself. And now, that is the basic story. The Human Instrumentality Project. Okay, joking aside, this game was actually um, published in Japan by Gainax, the guys behind Neon Genesis Evangelion. So, yeah, that joke has some sort of reason to exist. Okay, this is basically what we will see mostly for the game. Now let's save the game first. Anyway, okay, let's begin. To summarize the game, you have a daughter to raise, where she will live with you, and you can assign her tasks from making her own money or making her study. And the game begins at 10-year-old and ends at 18. And this game, to summarize, has a lot of numbers. That is basically here. Now I will try to explain slowly while I play the game. Now, which is the more these are the primary commands. Status checking. See this? Besides that, there's actually still a lot of hidden statistics that you could find in the game, but of course there wouldn't be an easy way to measure that. Secondly, this is the town. This is where you visit the town. Armor, where you buy the weapons and armor. Tailor, where you buy clothes. Now, this is kind of important. When you start a game, do not forget to buy at least the summer dress and the winter dress. And if the game allows me to explain later, I will tell you why. Then we get restaurant. Now, what's the point of eating to the restaurant? Well, basically for stat changing. Less stress and more weight. But generally, if you know what you're doing, you're never gonna need to visit the restaurant for the whole game. Now, pawn shop. These are miscellaneous stuff, not important, but generally, you will see this buy screen a lot later. And this is also the place where you can sell stuff. You cannot sell anywhere else except the pawn shop. Church. Okay. There's only one reason for this existing while visiting the town. Making a donation. Why? Well, it's due to this stat, the sin stat. Generally, it increases when you kill something or defeat something, and so to lower, you need to donate. That's generally it. Now, back to the hospital. Of course, this is when you're sick. Again, if you know what you're doing in this game, you should never have a reason to visit the hospital. Now this one, miscellaneous stuff. Father, daughter, I guess. Conversation. Pocket money. Pocket money means you give her money. So it generally helps when lowering stress. But then if you know what you're doing, you really shouldn't need to do that. Scold. Again, it's a very complicated, but it could help something when your daughter becomes a disobedient girl. But again, if you know what you're doing, you do not need to use this command for the whole game at all. Now, father-daughter chat. This is kind of pointless, but I guess it's cool for flavor text. For example, ask how she is doing. Do you think the God really exists? Well, you're actually gonna get that answer later in our playthrough. If you get lucky. It has been like years since I last played this game. Okay, so this one, the castle. This is visiting the royal family. Now, in a different in a weird way, it's not that important to frolic with the royal family, but in very specific endings, this is absolutely required. Now, what is the point of talking like this? Of course, when you visit a part of the royal family, they would need to accept it before they would converse with you, and that requires specific statistics. So for example, in this one, grace and refinement, he wants that. You get 1 point. Why? Because, well, at least we have some sort of refinement. 9 points. So it means if you don't have any refinement before he probably there's okay. The members of the royal family have a requirement for before they start to convert with your daughter. Okay. Now for this one is how her diet, your daughter's diet. Okay, generally you don't need to. You just need to keep on a normal diet. But if you're focused on something specific, you might need to slim down or even weight loss, but that is very dangerous. So generally, if you're starting out, keep it on normal diet. Now this is the equipment screen. This allows you to change your daughter's current clothes. This is also the part where you could also equip her weapon and armor. Now this one is still kind of stats, but more like miscellaneous stats. But again, there are other stats in here that are kind of important if you want to discover why something is happening, like blood type, age, sickness, delinquency, healthy, well-behaved, and what diet she is, his current sizes, height, weight. Okay, so let's start. Now we have 300 gold. Before it was 500, but we bought her the summer dress and the plain dress. Now, I generally begin the game by focusing on winning a tournament. But let's just say we begin by jobs. We need more money. Now, I always tend to use farm. Well, let me explain why. Now, on the third week, it's the relaxation. Okay, farm, and then the third, time off, free time. It's free. Okay, use schedule. Now, okay, every job has a statistical requirement. If you see, sometimes there are days where she doesn't correctly do her job. 2 days, there's only 2 days she was able to do her job well. So only 20G. Then still again, second way, practice again. Now, for this job, she actually needs constitution and strength. And since that is also the stats that get increased, you can just keep mashing that job until she becomes proficient at it. Now, the pocket money. If you give her pocket money, her lowered stress would be bigger. Now, okay, this is a random event. She would tell you if your daughter's future for 30G. Have fortune told just to show you guys. Okay. Is it? Performer. What do you mean performer? Okay. Now that is a hint that if somehow that is still your stats and she turns to 18 years old, that will be her total ending. So okay, for me, I just want farm because there's an easy requirement. Then free time, for me that's it's kind of boring, but let's see. See? She's now doing pretty well. Oops, except that 1 day. But 8 days, she has done well now. Okay, now, work is generally if you want your daughter to earn money. School is the one where you want her to learn skills or, well, basically also earning stats, but generally it's through tutoring. And so certain stats could only be increased by tutoring. And then adventure. We will gonna use this much later. So for now, we're gonna give her a painting, and then farm, and then free time. Now, if you'd notice that everything that she does increases her stress, and time off is generally the only way to lower stress. See that? On that art tutor, she increased her art stat. Now she is working well because the requirement for this job is constitution and strength. Now, okay, this is the important part. Now, it seemed that a dreadful cold wave. Now, fortunately, we are wearing the winter dress. But what if you don't have the dress? Well, she'll lose stats or increase her stress. So, but what if you say your daughter is wearing the plain dress and that cold thing happens? Well, you'll still be given the choice to wear the winter dress if you have bought it. So, it is important to always buy those clothes at the beginning of the game. Now, we're gonna continue. Okay, if you'd notice, why is that refinement stat? If you're looking specifically at that stat, you would notice that in the beginning of the game, her refinement was 9. Now it's 0. Now that's the catch for the jobs in this game, and sometimes even for tutor. Okay. Oh crap, we missed something. Sorry, we gotta reload the earlier. I want to show you something. Okay, let's begin. What are her clothes? Okay, so let's make it fast. I always forget that. So the fast forward for this game is holding the F3 button. So it's okay. Now, an example for this. If you notice, her what was the stat? Refinement? Well, because her refinement was lowered, we didn't get a bonus for her. Okay, sorry. Let's continue. Time off. Okay, impressive. 9 days with no botching up the job. You get a bonus. Okay, now this is kind of important. At the end of December, or at least on January, because we're in December 31. Hey, where's the... I'm missing something. Sorry. Damn it, my memory's getting bad for this game. Okay, painting. Time off. No pocket money? Because we could lower her stress to 0 anyway. So yeah. And this time, I actually forgot to change her to the winter dress. But since the cold wave still happened, there was now still an option to let her change to the winter dress. So no stress, so good. Okay, let's save the game. Okay. Every January, if you'd notice, there's now an extra choice in here, the young officer. This is important. It would make sense later in the game, but it's very important that every January the young officer happens, and your daughter must always meet the young officer. Yeah, you should always promise to see the young officer. Okay, let's save the game. That's a good sign already. Okay, let's make this fast. Father-daughter conversation or studies, if I want to. Basically, the father-daughter conversation is kind of important if you are not that used to the game. It could help you get hints on what to do for the game. So again, more farming. Okay, this is the kind of caveat. Why I always use farming on the beginning? Because actually, in farming, your daughter increases her constitution and strength, but actually loses refinement. See? But then, since her refinement is already that low, what are we gonna lose? Now, this is important. For example, we visit someone else, like say General. Hey, hello. Oh, what are you doing? They're ignoring her because we need to pacify certain statistics before those people would notice her. Oh, so let's continue. School, painting. Now, why am I focusing on painting? Now, why am I focusing on painting? There's actually a reason for that. Every year there would be a sort of festival that if she wins, we could get a lot of money for very little effort. Now, in my opinion, in all of those festivals, okay, another, have fortune told? Sure, why not? Performer, okay, so not a big deal. Keep farm. Unfortunately, it's pretty boring, but this is really how I try to play this game. My goal at the beginning is to create a lot of money and then enroll the daughter in the artist tutor, and then hoping by at least the second year, before she's 12, she wins the festival. That's generally my goal, because it's free money, free gold, and this makes me able to make her focus on tutoring, to increase her stats and be able to beat everyone up. Farm and some painting, and then free time. Let's go fast forward. If you see her, the art stat does have a pretty low ceiling. That's also the reason why. Okay, pocket money. Besides, tutoring also adds very little stress. So that's why I focus on that. I kind of balance it rather than, splurge. Now, okay, let's sample. Since we have 100 gold, okay, this is how it works. Once you tutor with the artist, after a few lessons, you will be asked to paint a picture. It's kind of semi-random, but since, our art is really not that good, but still, I need to show you something, so I'm gonna comply yes, although it uses up 100 gold. Okay. Besides changing the wallpaper, it's actually, since we already painted a new art, it could be submitted in an upcoming festival competition. So let's continue with the farming, because again, partially, why do I use farming? It's generally one of the highest paying jobs available in Princess Maker. That its shortcomings is not really that big. No pocket money. Okay. Now, if you remember... Oh, sorry, I made a minor mistake. The festival begins at October. And that is partially the reason why we gave the daughter's birth date as November 1. Because at least you would have more time to prepare for the festival. So it kind of increases the chance that in a few years we would be able to win a festival competition. Okay, the harvest season has arrived, and give that. On this month you will not be able to do a normal job, and because there will be the festival and there will be always a competition every year. Participation in the combat tournament, the dance party, art festival, and the cooking contest. Okay, to test opportunity to test the skills you've learned, and every year we get a new salary. Okay, but it's not that important. Okay, let's save the game. Go to the festival. Although there's a chance to rest, well, to be honest, we're not gonna win any competition today. It would be probably the earliest next year when she is about to be 12 years old. But I'll show you the festival so I could show you stuff. Go to the festival. Now we have the choice. Okay, in order to join the art festival, your daughter should have been able to create a painting. If you remember earlier, we did that already. So we can join that. Combat tournament, yes, but she doesn't have the correct equipment nor a good skill set in order to win that. So not for now. Dance party requires another different stats. And cooking contest, you could always join this if you're not qualified to join this, but again, it requires a different set of skills. So we're gonna choose the art festival because that's where most fit right now. New schedule, art class. Okay, it's insulting, but unfortunately, our art stats are still pretty low. So unfortunately, that's part of this. Okay, 83 points for the third place. The second is got 84 points. And then the gold is 95 points. And winning with 4,000 gold. And it's the teacher who would have tonked it. Okay, the mistress scored 56 points. The daughter earned 56 points. Not bad for the first competition, right? So in theory, next year he would be able to do better. Okay. The traveling salesman. This is important. Okay, this is actually a good time for happen. This wandering merchant is kind of semi-random, but it is always assured that he will always appear at least 4 times per playthrough, maybe even more. Okay, why is this important? You see, unicorn, spirit ring. I'll explain it later. So, for now, we're gonna get the unicorn flute. 1000 gold. We have just exactly the right money for this. Okay. Since half an hour has already happened, we're gonna cut this video for now. Unfortunately, I'm sorry for the boring beginning, but this will pick up next part. So, this is StriderVM again. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you want to comment or something, maybe even a violent reaction to something, you could put it at the comments below or at my discussion page. So, hey guys, I'm gonna see you again in another video.